Hey everybody, welcome to this Xbox Life episode 284, Layoffs and Delays. We are back, and I heard the audio this time, so the intro music is working. Yay!
Yes, it is.
It probably means nobody will be able to hear Rob and Brun. So, but oh well. What can I do? I can't do anything else, but it's working. Yay! I hate technology. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709. With me, as always, is Rob and Brun.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
So, yes, we restarted here. So we noticed that our intro music wasn't playing for some reason, but our audio was. So who knows what's going on? Gotta love these programs. But we got a big show for you this week, and some cool stuff to get to, so I think we should just get to it. And of course, you guys can't see me, but I'm sporting a shirt and tie this week, so I'm bringing it. Just thought I'd share that with you.
I see it on the Twitch feed. You're looking mighty dapper.
And I'm just normal old school T-shirt today.
Yeah, this wasn't intentional. It was just a lack of time to change. So I haven't even.
You're like that dude from Green Acres, aren't you? You go out, you like clean your pool in shirt and tie and suit. You rake your rocks outside.
Yeah, that's it. I just didn't have
Catch
time
scorpions.
to change, so I didn't even get a chance to eat dinner. So I'm gonna eat dinner after this is done. So just one of those days. So anyways,
this is the TXL diet then.
Yeah, welcome to This Xbox Life. If you want to check out our sites at thisxboxlife.com, you can also support the show by doing all your purchases through Amazon.com and by using our associate affiliate link by going to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon or just going to our website and clicking the Amazon link there on the right-hand side of the page. If you doing that allows us to earn a little bit of money back from your purchases, and we are now giving away gift cards, and we'll be doing more such cool stuff in the future. The winner this last week for this $10 giveaway was Sky Kiddo for the correct answer of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas. So congratulations, Sky Kiddo. I will send you out your card via Xbox Live here in a few minutes, or your code anyways. And stay tuned and keep listening. And in the community section, we will show another box art for a random Xbox game. And all you got to do is go to our contest page, which Rob will now clear out and prep for you guys, so you can go and fill out the form. All you got to do is give us your gamer tag and the name of the video game that you are seeing on the screen displayed in our community section later in the show. And then we will pick a random winner for another $10 gift card next week. So, with that being said, before we go into anything else, I got something a little special. Unfortunately, it's going to be delayed because Rob and Brun are going to have to... They won't hear it except... So, Rob and Brun, mute your headsets.
I'll watch it on Twitch feed.
Unmute the Twitch feed. And it'll be a little bit delayed, but here we go. Let me get everything prepped. And... here we go. This doesn't bode well. I don't hear anything. It's ruined! Oh my goodness. Anyways, it's a happy birthday song. It's supposed to be playing Happy Birthday. You're supposed to hear the music. I don't know why it's not playing. It played earlier. It was a bunch of kids playing, singing Happy Birthday, and I was going to interject your name because they leave a blank spot, and I was going to sing to Rob. But I'm sorry, it failed. I don't know what happened. There's no music to it. And it was kind of fun.
You know, I don't think I hear us on the video.
Got to be kidding me.
No, I thought I heard us. I can hear us talking.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
But
when I unmute, I can hear Wing talking about the song.
Yeah, but are we? Can we hear everybody else?
Oh, I don't know.
That's the question.
I thought I just heard myself. I heard us, which is kind of weird talking.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Yep.
Hopefully, someone out there that's not the three of us can tell us if they can hear. Can you hear us all clearly? All right. So that was. I don't know what happened. It was such a cool little happy birthday to you. So, anyways, happy birthday,
It
Rob.
was. Hey,
I'm
thanks, guys.
sorry. I feel bad. I was like trying to do something special and it
No,
doesn't
no, that
work.
was awesome, man. That was awesome.
It's so lame. It's so lame. I was even
Now,
trying to like interject. Whoops! I was trying to interject my name into the video, but the video I had worked and played, and these little kids wishing you happy birthday. So happy birthday, Rob.
oh, thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
So what are you, 21 now?
Forever 21.
Forever 21.
Now, just that, like, my birthday episode has the title Layoff on it. Are you trying to tell me something with that, by the way?
No.
No? Okay, okay. It's not related. Okay.
Not related. Not related. So
Phew.
Rob, why don't you tell us what you've been playing this week?
All right, all right. So I've been continuing my Tomb Raider playing, getting pretty close to the end. I'm actually going through and collecting all of the little doodads throughout the levels right now. Just going back and just cleaning house. Because there's that one point, if you guys remember, where you get to the spot that says you can't travel back once you pass that point. So I eventually got to that. So loving that game. That's just such a fantastic game. Doing some more Lego Marvel with my son. That's also just a blast. And after that one, I think we're definitely going to do the Lego Movie one. That one seems kind of interesting. And some Peggle 2. Played that with my son also. So I'm really turning him into a little gamer. That's awesome. Now, I've been talking about some issues that I've been having with Xbox One and over the past couple of weeks. And the stuff's continuing. It's so weird. I really haven't heard anybody else talk about this too much. But for example, with Tomb Raider, when I resume the game sometimes, it'll have no audio. And I have to go into Peggle 2 is my usual app that I go into. I go to Peggle 2, then I come back, and then everything works again. Or the controller disconnects. It froze on me. There was one point where it just went to a black screen. I don't know if this is some side effect of the whole VM business or what, but it's really odd. And it's possibly hitting a couple of titles, at least for me. It was doing that on Macs, and it's doing it on Tomb Raider. I haven't been... Oh, and we had the controller disconnect on Marvel as well. So I'm really curious to see if other people have had the same issue or if it's just me. Outside of that, I did mention a couple weeks back that I had gotten the Polk Melee headset. Basically, the deal with that is that it's a 360 headset, and I was using it on my 360, and they had a deal where if you register your Melee, then once they have this Xbox One adapter, they send it to you for free. Well, I finally got it on Thursday of this past week, and it turned out, much to my surprise, that it was an actual Microsoft Xbox One headset adapter. So it wasn't some third-party doodad that you just put on it. It was the real deal. They sent that along with 2 cords. One was a USB cord to do the controller update, and then the other was one of those typical stereo headphone type of cords, so you can use the headset with the cell phones or music players or whatever. And I got to say that it's a phenomenal headset, even on the Xbox One. I really prefer it on the Xbox One over the 360 just because there's less cabling. The cable just goes from the right ear piece, headphone, whatever, on the right ear, and it goes down to your controller, and that's it. Whereas on the Xbox 360, it goes from your right ear down to this little thing that plugs into the bottom of the controller, which picks up the chat audio, and then it goes from there to this little cylinder that you got on the floor by the Xbox. which then hooks into the optical input. So there's quite a bit of connectivity on that one. I much prefer the Xbox One. Not that the 360 version is a big deal or not. I mean, in the end, it really doesn't matter since you're just playing the game on the monitor TV or whatnot, and you're not looking at what's on the floor. But the audio quality on it is phenomenal. And I was reading somebody posted something about the Force Shot, saying that that it hurt after a while. The Melee definitely it feels great even after a couple hours of gaming, and I believe that the design is pretty much identical between the two. It's just the interface.
They looked the same. I couldn't tell
Yeah,
what the
they're
difference
identical.
was.
Yeah, it's a really nice design where it cups your ear. So basically, the foam sits on your head, so it sits on your melon, not on your ears, and it doesn't press the ears or anything. Actually, like the ones that I've got now, actually are more annoying than the Melee ones. But the quality on it is excellent, and one of the things that I really like about it now is that it's one awesome headset that you can use on both systems. All you basically got to do is unplug the ear cord. Let's say if it was on the 360, you unplug that one and you just plug the other one in. So you can basically flip-flop between the two. If you're looking for a headset, you got both systems, you might want to check out the Melee. They're still doing the free adapter right now. You just got to register with your serial number, and then you can get it on both systems. So you don't have to buy an additional one to use just on your Xbox One. And if they ever discontinue this program, $25 gets you the Microsoft adapter, and you can just use that. So yeah, it's phenomenal headset, and I'm very pleased with what they did. I thought it was going to be some kind of third-party puck or whatnot, because that's actually what they called it. That was on the shipping invoice that they had. So they called it a puck. So I thought it was going to be some third-party thing, but I was pleasantly surprised. So double thumbs up to Polk for making such an awesome, awesome headset. And I had something else I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot what it was. Maybe I'll remember by the end of the show.
It'll be your one more thing.
Yeah,
One more
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
One more thing.
Delay us.
Yeah. I'm delaying my bedtime.
Okay.
I learned it from my son.
Nice.
One more thing. One more thing.
All right. How about you? Was that it then, Rob?
Yeah, that was it for now.
How about you, Brian? Did you play anything this week?
Well, I won't delay us too long. For some reason, I feel like I'm the next generation Rob.
Yes.
Oh, no. And we did. There was some negative comments about you last week in the Facebook group. I had to go out and, because you were just a PC gamer and you didn't have an Xbox One. But the person didn't know you were the founder, one of the founders of the TXL. So I did set him straight, and he said, okay, he wasn't being rude. He was just sharing his thoughts, about the new host. So I'm hoping you brought something to the table this week. Otherwise, we might have to just fire you after week 2. I don't know.
Well, let's just dock his pay for now.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll dock his pay.
Well, for the person who did comment, no fear. I will eventually get there. Just have other things to take care of first. But as far as gaming this week, I didn't get to anything.
Oh,
I'm a failure.
You got anything at least like mobile games? Come on, you did something.
I played some Crazy Taxi to try it out since it was free on iOS.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was free on Android too.
Yeah. This week was really busy with work. I mean, really, really busy. And of course, I'm not playing games between Mondays and Thursdays during Lent, and just Friday, Saturday, and today is just super busy. So.
Oh yeah, you gave up games for Lent, didn't you?
Yeah. So that kind of puts a dent in some stuff, but yeah.
Why don't you give up like cauliflower instead or something?
I usually give up a couple things, and then I do a couple things. So like things that I wasn't doing regularly, like I'll start to do, like read every night, or do some more of my online courses and stuff for development. I'll do those every night, and not drinking pop. I'm not playing games Monday through Thursday. I'm not cheating during the week on my diet. So just things like that. So, but as far as games, they kind of had to take a back seat today or this weekend. So maybe next weekend.
Well, I hope so.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to start paying us.
Yeah. Yep.
Alrighty. So this week I only got one game in this week. So I don't know, maybe. Oh, and Rob, just you might want to check the Twitch. Someone has a question for you regarding headsets on the chat. But I played Titanfall. That's it. That's all I played.
Really?
I did play it the day that it released, and then I was sick and didn't get to get back to it until it was Friday night. I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel somewhat better. I'm gotta play a little bit. So I played some then, but that's it. That's all I had time for, and it didn't matter if I had time for everything else. I was only gonna play Titanfall. The game is just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Very, very, very cool game. It's you guys definitely got to try it out. Let me put it this way: it lived up to the hype. I played the beta when it came out,
Yep.
and I was kind of like, eh. I mean, people were just like, "Oh, this is great." For some reason, when I played it, I was kind of like, eh. I was like, okay. I don't know what the difference is. I really don't. But I just love the game. It is. There's so much. It's very fast paced. If you want, it's almost like Call of Duty. And people are gonna hate that I said that, but it is Call of Duty with the Max. Period. It's still got that very fast pace. It's almost faster, if you can believe it. It's very fast paced, but you need to work together. So it's almost like taking the fast-paced part of Call of Duty, taking the kind of team-oriented aspect of Battlefield and trying to kind of bring them together. Because you can be out there lone wolfing it and destroying people, and your team loses. And we got a lot of community members.
He's all choked up about this.
Yeah, sorry. Who were talking about, they were playing and they just kept losing, and it's like, you got to really get with a team that's going to work together to hold the points. It's more than just killing people, A lot of them are attrition and stuff, but, you still want to defend, you want to, when you're on those hardpoint modes, you've got to do that and work together as a team and take out different things. Teams that do that are going to dominate and do really well. But what I found is, even when we were getting slaughtered, and it wasn't often that it was just a massive slaughter. It happened a couple of times, and the time that it happened it was such a slaughter and happened so quick. It was kind of like something funny going on. I mean, it was just bizarre. I mean, it was so quick. It's like, how can the match end that fast? So we just hopped out and got into another match. But most of the time, I mean, we've had some just really good battles, and I've had where we've just gotten beat really bad, but I still have a great time. The game is so much fun. I've had matches where I don't even get into my Titan. I have him in follow mode. I actually like having him follow me around, and I actually like staying on the ground as a pilot. Because a lot of times people get focused on those Titans, and you get the opportunity to kind of do some things. But there's so many challenges to the game that it's like you want to expand and do all these different things. And with Call of Duty, the only real thing that I found was I'd get kind of maybe a couple, like an SMG or an assault rifle or an LMG. Those are about all I would ever want to try. I never really did anything else. But with this game, there's so many different aspects of it that and the way the challenges are working, and I know the challenges exist in Call of Duty too, but this one like kind of makes me want to do other things. I stuck with one rifle for a long time because I was trying to max out every piece of that, every challenge in that one rifle to get an achievement. Once I did, I was all excited because I was like, okay, now I can try the smart pistol, and I can try the LMG, which I finally unlocked, and there's a sniper rifle which I want to give it a try. But the weapons are really cool. The mods and stuff you get for your Titans and your pilots are, you can cloak or you can run really fast. The whole verticality of the game, I'm still trying to get used to, get off the ground, get up in the buildings. I'm still trying to figure out and get used to jumping up on, where can I jump and how do I get to the top of the building. It just brings a whole other aspect to the game, which is so much fun. I'm hooked. I mean, it's like, this is great. It is an absolutely fantastic game. I've not really run into many issues technically. We've had a couple issues where we can't get like one person into the game. They can be in the party, but we can't seem to get them into the game. I've seen that on other games before, so I think it's more of an Xbox Live issue.
NAT settings or whatever those are.
Those, but I mean, we've got people that's saying their NAT is open, or they're in a game and then all of a sudden they fall out or they drop out and then they can't get invited back, so I don't know if it's NAT issues or what, but it's just a fantastic game. And one thing I do like is you level up pretty quick. You get to like level 30 really fast. I'm like I'm in the 40s already, and I really played Tuesday and Saturday night. That's it. And I'm already in the level 40. I could have been already prestiged if I wasn't sick and was able to play all week. Lots of people are already leveled up several times, prestige several times, or regen, they call it, in the next generation pilot. I'm definitely going to do it. But the burn cards are cool. I've seen some really neat burn cards. There's one I got just last night that it shows every enemy player on the map. So I'm like, that's cool. There's one that shows like all the AI guys on the map. Again, those burn cards only last until you die. And I'm still not sure how I feel about that, because you'll put a double XP burn card, and then it's like every time I do that, I might kill one guy and then I'm dead. It's like whenever I go on the I just killed 12 guy run, I never have the double XP card at that point, So it's always like you almost hate to use them, but you got to use them. I mean, you just keep getting more, and you'll tap out at a certain number. You can't get any more, so you might as well use them.
So Titanfall's 6v6, right?
It's 12 real people.
Right.
So it is 6 versus 6, but there are, I think,
the AI guys.
32 AI. No, wait, 28 AI. So I think it's like a 20-on-20 match. So it keeps it alive, and good with the bots. Now, a lot of people are like, there was a lot of negativity about this. Well, why can't we have 256 players?
That's why. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Well, Massive Action Game doesn't even exist anymore, which was a PlayStation. Yeah, we can do 256 players. It was a failure. I mean, you can't. You think it's bad to try to get a small group of people to play together. How are you going to get 256 people or 128 people to play together on a team? It's just not going to happen. But that just wasn't a success. Battlefield, I think their max isn't it 64 players
on PC, yes, but I believe it's 32 on Xbox.
Right.
Or did they get it? Or did they get 64? Battlefield 4? Did they get 64 on Xbox One and PlayStation 4?
I don't really know. I think they did, because there's a lot. I mean, I've been down in it has to be, because I've been ranked down at the bottom, like in the 20s.
Which is funny,
they must
because
have 64 player on Xbox One. I just haven't paid attention.
Yeah, which is funny, because even on the PC, I find myself liking the 32-man or 48-man type of matches, because 64, sometimes it's like you're just
It's just too much.
there's guys in every corner. So if you can't get spawned into a good spot, then you're just no sense in actually trying it. But the reason why I brought up the 6v6 is because you're saying it's so fast paced, and it seems like it's so much fun and things are getting done, and not only you are liking it, but pretty much everybody that's playing it is liking it. I just remember that whole, like, oh no, Titanfall's not going to be good because it's 6v6. Why can't it be like what you're saying?
Right.
Why can't it be 32 versus 32? And it's just like,
what?
really?
You don't want it. You don't want more than 6v6 in this game. Absolutely.
Not with Titans.
No, my gosh, no, dude. The other day I was playing and it was like the enemy had 3 Titans out, and I come around the corner and I'm like, ah! And I'm running like a little girl. Run away, run away! I mean, it's like insane. But there are those moments, man. I'm being alerted, warning, you are outmatched. 2 Titans are attacking you. And I'm in my big ogre, man. I'm just like, bam! I just run up there and I'm shooting, launching rockets, and my health is going down. So I just ran forward and I punched the one and ripped the pilot out of his Titan, and then throw him. So then I turn around and I just unleash on the second one. Dude, I took both of them out. I'm like, it was so awesome. I'm sitting here laughing and just like, on the game, I'm like, I don't know how I did that. How did I survive taking on 2 Titans? I got lucky, you know. It was awesome, but it was so much fun. But I can't imagine, like, if you get everybody in a Titan, that's 12 Titans on the map.
Yeah.
In a last Titan standing match is a lot of fun. That's a multiplayer where everybody starts out in a Titan. That's really fun to play. But it would be unplayable. I think they really did a good job, and they said they tried it with more people, and it really became not fun. It really ruined the game. I don't think you want everybody in a Titan. If you do, then do a last Titan standing mode. But those are fun. But again, it's like your team of 6 against the other team of 6. So it's not 1 against 11. That would just be crazy. It just wouldn't work. So I think they did a fantastic job. I love that there's bots in the game, and I'll tell you why. The bots allow you to still contribute. So like in Call of Duty or Battlefield, there's those guys that's all they do, and they're always at the top. They're always the MVP. And it's like you can never compete, and like in Battlefield, I've pretty much given up. I can't kill people. All I can do when I play is here's ammo, or here's a med pack. That's the role. Or an engineer. I'll fix your vehicle. That's the role I take on when I play Battlefield, because for some reason I can unload a clip into a dude and he just looks at me and then pops me with one shot with a pistol and I'm dead. I'm like, it doesn't make sense, you know. So I've taken the support role in that game. Call of Duty, I can usually sometimes be in the middle of the pack, but there's guys that just own the top. So, and you always feel like you never really can contribute. Well, this one, there's bots that, yeah, they are easy. You know, you can get killed by a bot, what they call them grunts. But they are there, I think, to really help people, you know, not totally feel like they're just getting owned by the real people. It adds more to the game. It's almost like you got a shot of at least trying to kill some bots if you want. And also they got these things called Spectres, which are also AI controlled. And you can run up and you can hack these guys. You run up and you stick like your knife into them and it hacks them. But it takes a while. So you could be shot and killed while you're hacking them. But if you can successfully hack them, they now become a guardian for you. And they'll walk around and shoot the enemy. You know, so basically you just converted them over from the enemy to become your AI bot. And if you get I've had Spectres walking with me along with my Titan following me. And dude, that is so fun. And I'm cloaked. It's awesome because everybody comes around, they see the Titan, they see those guys. They don't see you if you can stay cloaked. You know, you can really do some damage and get some points, and it's just, there's a lot of things you can do. It's a fantastic game, and I should probably stop because I've been rambling forever. So I highly recommend everybody play it. Carbide got on last night, and he's my buddy from Canadian. He's my Canadian buddy he's my buddy from Canada, and he had not had a chance to play it yet, and he was so like he was just like, oh my gosh, I almost broke my controller. Not because it's frustrating, because the game was so intense and so much fun. He was like blown away. He's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And that's what I think a lot of the people, the experience has been. There's been some people that, for some reason, all their stats have disappeared. What is that a Titanfall issue? Is it an EA issue? Is it, we don't know. I mean, I've seen that in Battlefield. I've seen it in Call of Duty. I mean, we've seen it in other online shooters. So supposedly he was going to get his stuff reset, but unfortunately it was going to take a couple days. But he did talk to somebody, EA or Microsoft, and they were going to get one of his ranks somewhat brought back or given back to him somehow. They don't, we don't know what happened. But it doesn't have that first patch yet, so. But for a game that's multiplayer online only, by EA, and it worked. I mean, it's worked the first day. I didn't have any problems. People were saying they couldn't get on or whatnot. I played the entire day and never had any problems.
Yeah, Xbox Live went down that day.
Supposedly, I was on that whole time when people were saying they couldn't get on. I was on playing, so it was like if you were on, you were good. There was a time frame, I guess. If you tried to get on, you couldn't. But my understanding that only lasted about an hour.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, there was some
Titanfall
kind
was up
of
and running. So it was Titanfall was running.
it was some kind of authentication problem, if I remember right.
Yeah, and they said that was an Xbox Live issue.
Yeah, well, there was that, and I was also reading like something about like the cloud saves or something like that syncing up. Like basically what they're saying is if you got in before the problem existed and got your save and everything set up for Titanfall, people didn't have problems then. But if you were, trying to get in after the issue happened, then you were kind of stuck until you had to wait it out. And some of the people here in Ohio, I think it went down about 4 p.m. our time, and they couldn't get on till almost 11 p.m. So it was down for 7 hours here. So it was a wide range of stuff, but it was interesting that it was the Xbox Live that went down and not Titanfall itself. But
yeah.
So the game looks. It got a.
I mean, I was on at that time playing and played through the night, so it was weird because I remember reading about it and I was like, "What? I was on playing the whole day. What are you talking about? What do you mean there was an issue? It didn't, So I guess if you were on, you were safe. If you weren't, you couldn't get on for a while. But all in all, I mean, day one it ran great. I was expecting, honestly, to for the whole we weren't expecting this amount of people to play and blah blah blah, the typical line from EA, and the game worked. And supposedly, I think EA should take notice because supposedly this game was being run on Microsoft servers and it worked.
Yes.
Not EA servers. So I'm hoping EA catches on and sees what Microsoft and Xbox Live can do because your game was a success and that's what you want. So anyways, I need to get off the Titanfall talk. Well, one last thing. The only complaint I have, and supposedly they're going to fix a lot of the stuff, there are some minor things that you would expect to work, like being able to select the campaign mode, select which team you want to play on. You can't do that even after you've completed both campaigns. All you can do is go and select which campaign mission you want to play, but you can't select which team you want to be on. So if you have to go in, and if it's not the team you want, then you got to back out and research for a new one. That's kind of frustrating. Hopefully they'll resolve that. But and there's reasons why they should resolve it, because there's achievements tied to all those things. So there's no tracking of which ones you've won and which ones you've lost and stuff like that, which just seems like, why don't we have that stuff? But it's all minor stuff. The game is fantastic and it plays great. So let me move on. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I know we've got a request in our chat about this. I bought the Turtle Beach. I ended up going out and buying a headset this week, and I broke down. So I bought the Turtle Beach XO7s. I had purchased Turtle Beaches in the past. Let's see if I got, there's the image. I bought a pair of Turtle Beaches once before and the chat never worked. So I'm like, wow, I paid $300 for a headset that doesn't work. So I took them back and stayed with the cheap Microsoft one. Well, I've decided that I want to I really wanted to get a good headset, and I decided to go try the Turtle Beaches again because Rob talks a lot about the Polk Melees, and I've heard good things about Astros. But I was doing some reviews, watching some online reviews, and the ones that stuck out or stood out the most with the best reviews that I found were these Turtle Beach Air Force X07s. So I went ahead and bought them, tried them out, and I absolutely love them. They are light, they're comfortable. There's only one wire that goes to the puck, and the puck, like Rob, like you said, the puck is the exact same one. It's the Microsoft official adapter was in the box.
Cool.
So it's the same thing. It's not like some third party or so. You got the same 5 buttons attached to it.
Yes.
So
And
I
oddly
really
enough,
enjoy it, and the chat works great, huh?
I was going to say, oddly enough, I prefer the the knobs of the original Melee one, but it is what it is. Sorry to
Oh,
jump
really?
into your thing. Oh, it's
So,
annoying. You hit the button, you're like, okay, is it doing anything? Is it doing anything?
oh, I know, yeah. So I think it's pretty cool. I like actually having the volume for the music in the hearing people. It's like hearing the chat is so much better now. It's like I can understand people a lot better. They sound better. I have been told I sound a lot clearer because a lot of times you get these and people say your audio is horrible. Um, so I would say yes, these are fantastic. What's also really nice about them is they're powered off of the controller. So you don't have to have an extra cable running to your console. It has one cable that comes out of it that runs into the little puck on the bottom of your controller, and that's how they're powered. Now I know there's some question about will it drain battery life or anything like that. I don't know yet. I played a lot the other night,
Yeah, I wondered
and
about that.
I didn't have any problem. I mean, I didn't notice any extra battery life or wear on it. I'm sure it will play somehow into it because you're taking juice out of that battery. So I would say, yeah, it has to take some life away from it, but I don't.
It
I
can't
don't.
be much.
It can't be that much, yeah. And I haven't noticed it. It wasn't like, wow, this controller battery only lasted 2 hours. So nothing like that.
I imagine it being a fraction more what the headset is that you get with the Xbox One, because that one's powered by the headset as well. So it's not like you're going from zero power coming out of or it's powered by the controller. It's not like you're coming out with zero power coming out to everything for this headset. It's probably a fraction more of what the original one is.
Okay. One thing I wanted to say was in our chat. I want to make sure I respond to this.
The game volume is the question.
Yeah, the game
What do you
volume
think about
is
the
too
game
low.
volume?
So on the puck, on the yeah, on the puck, on the left side, if you there's 2 buttons on the left side of the puck. If you press the top one, it increases the volume of the game sound. If you tap the bottom one, it increases the chat, and it'll quiet the game sound. So it depends on how you do. If you're chatting with your buddies and you want to lower your game sound, that gives you control over each one. Then on the right side is the master volume. So you can, if you're tapping your game volume up and then tap the puck on the right side to increase your overall volume, that should give you what you're looking for. Hopefully, I think that's for Catsy Mouse. Hopefully that will help you resolve the issue. So
One side is like the balance between chat and game,
right.
and then the other is like the full volume, right?
Right, yeah, the right side is like your master volume, so it's going to just increase the volume of both of them. And then the left side is like, which one do you want to be the dominant sound? Do you want to have your game sound be louder than your chat, or your chat? And what I've opted for is have the chat higher. Especially, it just depends because I'm talking with them, but you might want your game sounds higher because you want to hear the footsteps, or you want to hear the warnings and stuff. I opted for the chat just so we can converse, and but either way I could hear well. Um, I didn't find it impacted either way. So I was kind of messing with it a little bit, going back and forth. So I thought it, and I think you're going to find the same issue on any Xbox One headset that you go with, because like Rob's, even the Rob's with the Polk Audio has the same puck. So his should function the same way. So I don't know.
At that point, you're just looking at the sensitivity of the speakers in the headset then.
Right.
Because otherwise they should function identical.
Exactly. And yeah, there's a ton of cables. Actually, let me open this one. I want to show you one thing I thought was really cool. I should have grabbed my headset. I actually think this is really neat. And the cord that goes to your controller, a lot of times those things are really thin and real flimsy. This one's actually like a braided cord. I'm actually pulling out the cord. What is this? This is the mobile. Oh, this also comes with like a cell phone adapter. You can actually use this headset on your cell phone if you want. But I'm gonna hold this up. So
I wonder if it's like this.
Oh, there you go. So this one's like a green and black. You can see that it's like a braided cord. This is what plugs into your hockey puck, if you will. And it's a nice sturdy cable. It's like, it's not, you don't feel like if it got caught on something, it's going to break. This is a really sturdy cable. I was really impressed with that. It also came with the little USB cable to update your controller, but you don't, if you should already have one of those that came with your system. Just plug it into your controller. But yeah, the headset's pretty cool. The only caveat is with the boom mic. There's a little green dot, really tiny, hard to see. You gotta line it up in the perfect spot into the headset. So I would just, once you put it in, I would leave it. But the whole boom mic bends and kind of moves any position you want. It's really flexible. I really like it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I really like it. Great headset. So it's nice to be able to hear things better. So,
Jesus is asking if it's Dolby Surround or just stereo.
The XO7 is supposed to be 7.1.
Okay.
Now, that brings up a question, because I was looking into this a while back, where some of these headsets are stereo, like the Melee is stereo only. The XO7 is 7.1. There's the XO4, I believe, as well. I don't know if that's 5.1 or whatever amount of channels it is. It's great that those headsets support that, but isn't the Microsoft adapter stereo? So
yeah,
even if the XO7 is 7.1, you're getting stereo anyway. I think the 7.1 is actually simulated 7.1. I don't think there's actually a true...
Right.
As far as I understand, there was only one true headset out there that was like true 7.1. It wasn't actually like the simulated 7.1. And I can't even remember who made that headset. Because even the ones I have on now are from Razer. They're the Kraken 7.1s, and they're simulated 7.1. But I mean, heck, for... these things are $70. It's just like how you never hear of any 7.1, headsets going for $70. But
right,
that's essentially what these ones were, and they're awesome. So, but yeah, I think everything's all simulated 7.1.
Yeah, I wonder if some of the headsets that pull their audio through the optical, if those are the ones that can actually do a better form of simulated 7.1. Because when you think of 7.1, I mean, 7.1 is independent channels. You got your front, center, left, right, sides, and rears. Right? No. Something like that. Anyway, you need individual channels, individual speakers do that. And you're not going to get it just with two speakers. So you'd have to do some kind of surround sound trickery.
Yeah, I think Triton is one of the ones I was thinking actually did the true 5.1 and not 7.1, but I think they all came with like digital. They come with like the digital receivers.
Yeah.
That you plug everything to into it, and then from there to the headset came a wire. But
So I would think that all of the 7.1 business is pure marketing of sorts. In the end, just go with what you think sounds the best.
Yeah.
Don't look at the actual specs on there. Well, I take that back. Look at some of the specs on there, but disregard some of this channel business.
Yeah, I actually do believe, because I used to be not really into audio or like into headsets, because I was like, I'm not paying $300-$400 for a headset or anything like that. But then, I go and I do a lot of research, and obviously Razer is a well-known company for gaming-related peripheral mice, keyboards, controllers, headsets, and things like that. And this was their only 7.1 headset, so I was like, I'm going to go get that. And when I first originally went and got it, it was $99. And I was just like, what? And then I had to take it back because I broke it myself. I tripped over the cable. And then when I took it back and got my money back, because I paid for the Best Buy plan or whatever, I came back and I got it for $70. And I mean, after this, it's like I'm buying a decent headset for all my gaming from now on, because just putting these things on and being able to hear somebody sneaking up behind me in Battlefield has saved me a dozen times from being stabbed. So I mean, I just gotta have nice audio now. So
yeah. And you gotta find something that's comfortable too. That's what I like. And you want them to be light, especially if you're gonna play a long time. And these things got noise isolating memory foam ear cushions. It's like a really nice, kind of like a really soft leather material around the ear. So my ears completely, are engulfed inside of them. It fits my big noggin. And it's comfortable on the top. A lot of times you can get them to fit, but then you feel that bar pressing on the top of your head. That's uncomfortable. I mean, think about it. Sometimes, I will sit and game for a long time, 6 hours, and I'm not used to having a headset on. So this, so far, I found these to be very comfortable, very light, and I really like them. I'm very pleased. So, but yeah, there's definitely options. The one thing I like about these is they're high end, but they're only $160. It's a lot better than the $300 that they used to be.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's awesome. The only thing I don't like about some of those headsets is the detachable mic. Like if you see mine in there right now, I'm going to mute it real quick, but it's bendable, but it also goes into the earpiece instead of detaching. So it's like,
look at that.
Fits in.
That's
fits in and pulls out. Yeah, so it's one nice thing instead of having to pull it out, because actually the ones I bought before this that only lasted about 30 minutes was a loose connection on the boom mic. So with that loose connection, the left speaker didn't work completely. Oh, so it was really, really hard when it does that. But yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought about like just trying the $80 Xbox One stereo headset, because I'm like, I just thought it would be nice just to have, the headset, and not I'm not all into the whole thing. I've 8 years I've had on Xbox, never had a headset, except a cheapo pack-in one. So I'm like, do I really need to go up on $160? But when I looked at the Microsoft ones, those things looked so cheap, and I would recommend looking at a YouTube video. Go to the store and put them in your hand, and try them on. If you go to some of these stores, they like a Best Buy should have a set of these available for you to try on. I think like Best Buy usually has them plugged in so you can hear what they sound like. Go to a Best Buy and check it out. But look at the quality. I mean, these things feel very solid to me. I don't feel like I'm going to break them. The Microsoft ones looked so chintzy. Just like, wow, if your cat sat on it, that might snap an earpiece off. So it just looked really cheap to me. So you get what you pay for. I think really comes true in the headset world. So take it from there. But hopefully that answered the question there. I guess I should look back at our chat for cat's mouse. Hopefully that try that volume thing and let me know if that worked for you. So, but I think it's time to move on, guys.
I was real quick. I was I was going to say, did you see that the Xbox, the Titanfall edition, Xbox One was on sale in the Microsoft Store for $400?
Oh yeah, that's an
Not for,
amazing
not for
deal.
long. It wasn't.
Nope. No, it wasn't. It wasn't there for long. So, but yeah, pretty crazy.
I can just imagine how many they sold. They probably just tore through that inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking
All
of
right.
which, I finally remembered what that other last thing that I had to talk about, and that's this is something that I posted on the Facebook group where I had always mentioned about trying to stick digital only, and I finally broke down and I kind of veered off of the digital only path, and it was strictly financially related because I kind of held off on buying Titanfall a little bit. I had the intention of getting it, especially after all the reviews and everything that everybody had about it, and everybody's just raving about it. But another $60 for a game is something I just couldn't do right at this moment. And back in the 360 days, not 360 days, but before, you would usually find stuff on
Back
sale.
in the 360 days.
I know, right? It sounds weird now.
That's so long ago.
I know. I know. You would have a launch and you could always find something cheaper. Cheaper than list, whether it was only $10 or something, at least it was something. And you basically get punished by doing the release day stuff, because not release day, the digital stuff on release, by paying full price. And oftentimes it was full price for a long, long time. They finally had a couple of things on sale. What they had, Rise for $40, and I forget what. There was another one as well. They had for $40 for a couple of days for the digital versions. But still, it stinks to have to pay full price all the time when the other versions of games like I'll use Assassin's Creed as an example. Assassin's Creed 4, I think, has always been $60. I don't think it's ever been discounted for the Xbox One version, for the digital one, but it would sell the 360 version and some of the other ones. They were going for $30 all regularly. So I found a deal through Staples of all places, and I got Titanfall for $30 using this big pain in the butt coupon deal that they had. But so I've got my first non-digital coming at me, so I'm doing it old school. And I hope they do something about this thing just to make it more affordable. It's pure profit on their behalf. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have to stamp any disc that you buy. There's no middleman. There's no distributor. No nothing. No store involved. It's all money going straight to Microsoft and the publisher and developer, whatever. So you would think that they would just throw us something and give us a little bit of a break here and there. But yeah, so I just want to mention that.
All
Hello?
right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We apologize for that temporary lapse of discussion. Move along. There's nothing to see here. All right. Well, let's move into our topics, because we're like an hour into the show, and it is my fault. I know. I spent a lot of time talking about Titanfall and Turtle Beach headsets, so it is my fault. But we got a hard stop, so because of Twitch and YouTube, so we can't run over 2 hours. So let's move on. We got some cool topics to talk about, and so yeah, Rob, why don't you take us to our first story?
All right. So Watch Dogs was a title that got delayed, and we really didn't know what was going to happen with it, if it was on or if it was being cut. Well, Watch Dogs is back, and we had a little bit of a surprise. Well, I don't know when this was. It was early last week, I believe, where there was a Watch Dogs closed beta that had appeared on the Xbox One store. And some people on Reddit posted it initially. And this was something that I didn't think you could readily install, right? I don't. Did you see this wing
I never saw it.
star?
No,
Yeah,
and I think it was listed as unavailable. It was just a like a
yeah,
placeholder.
Placeholder.
yeah. Exactly. I'm looking at the image from what is this, Reddit. So it was a 23 gig download that showed up as unavailable. You could pin it to home, I guess, but looks like they're gonna have something, or it might be going on right now to a limited beta test community that the general population can't see. It's probably slipped. They were trying to put it out there and then they accidentally sent it out to everybody, or they enabled it for everybody. But yeah, Watch Dogs is coming.
All right. Ron, you can go ahead on this one. I think there was something interesting, but especially the screenshots and what they were saying about the controls of this.
Okay. Well, like last week, we mentioned RBI Baseball 14, and that it's going to be released on April 10th. And we haven't heard much about it, but there's obviously more news this week. So they kind of go into like what's going on in this, and what you're talking about as far as that, I think, is they say, much like the classic games, the developer created 3 body types and preset batting stances for those character models, as opposed to, in the latest baseball games, you obviously have all different body types, and the batting stances are custom to that type of player, and they go and map all that stuff. So they don't do that in this game. It's kind of like 3 body types. Here are the stances. And it says, and while the NES games in the late 1980s were naturally restricted to 2 face buttons and the D-pad, the team intentionally opted for a 2-button controls for the modern take on the baseball game. So the group believes that these decisions immediately separate the game from the other sports games in the genre. So,
True,
2 buttons.
Yes,
Yes, it does. Which I kind of like retro games like that. It's nice to go back and play those games as long as it doesn't ruin my. I don't say ruin my childhood. That's not what I'm trying to say.
The nostalgia factor.
Yeah, yes. I want to keep my memories of playing these games and how much fun I had, and sometimes playing them again today after playing everything that we do play kind of ruins that sometimes.
Sometimes, all the time.
Well, I say sometimes.
Okay, 98% of the time.
I'll take that. Okay. So let's see. A couple other things that were on here. It says the game will be developed for 360, PS3, iOS, and Android, with PS4 and Xbox One versions to be slated to arrive very soon after. It will feature 30 MLB teams, but they're limiting the number of active players per team, so you'll get 16 players per team, and it'll most likely be like the best players on the team. So my Cincinnati Reds that I'm fans of, I'll probably have Votto and those guys on there. So includes local multiplayer modes for 2 players, but no online multiplayer functionality. Plus, the mobile version of the game won't feature multiplayer at all. Unlike modern sports games, the game doesn't include career mode, but does have exhibition, season, and postseason options. Each team will feature 1 unlockable jersey available through custom team challenges in season mode, such as Montreal Expos uniforms for the Washington Nationals, that'd be kind of awesome. I don't know if you guys remember the Expos or not. They had that yellow orange kind of stripe, I think. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on top of that. Last couple things. It's digital only, so Rob won't be able to save money. He's going to have to go back to the digital game on that one.
Yeah.
And it'll won't appear on store shelves next to Sony's MLB 14, the show next month. So, all right, that's about it for that. So 2 buttons, unlockable jersey, 16 players per team, 30 teams, 3 different with a couple batting stances. So I wish it
Wow.
would have I wish it would have online multiplayer. So I think it'd be fun to play a retro game like this with, with you or, with one of you guys or somebody in the community. So
I agree, and I certainly hope this isn't a $60 title because I don't think anyone's going to buy it,
I
except
think
for maybe
I think
Democulus.
all the other times I've checked, let me see if it's in here or not. I believe it's $15 game.
For what it is or sounds like, it better be cheap.
Yeah, I think it's $15 game. I don't think it was any more than that. Wait, when we go to next story, I'll look it up, see if I can find it.
All right. Well, there was some big news this week. If you're an achievement hound, if you are an achievement hound, you need to listen to Achievement Hounds. That's our brother podcast. Those guys came from us. But if you're into the achievement score, then in gamer tag, gamer score and getting achievements, then you probably know who Stallion83 is. His real name is Raymond Cox, and he has for a very long time been the very first. He was like the very first person to hit 100,000 gamer score. I think he was the very first person to hit every 100,000 plateau. This past week, he actually hit 1 million gamer score. He was broadcasting it live on Twitch. It took him, I think it was like 6 or 7 hours or something. I was watching several hours because I was actually sick and laying in bed and I was tired of watching TV, so I just had my phone there and I was watching it on there. And he was playing all kinds of different games. I watched him play several different things, but I actually did get to see him when he had it all kind of mapped out and what he was doing. And then on his last, he got to 50 points away, and he put Titanfall in, and he had one challenge that he had to do, and that was, I think it was just to with the rocket launcher take out another Titan. And he did that in his match and got that 50 points. So he was trying to get the million on the button, and as you guys can see on the screen there, that's him in the top right. That's his webcam from that night as he was broadcasting, and then that's his gamer card there, showing the million points. So it was kind of cool. I don't know. There's another guy that was a while back was kind of battling with him, but I don't think I don't know where he is anymore. I don't follow it, but he is the first person to pass a million. That's a lot of gamer score, guys. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I think Rob, we're talking about trying to go after him, right?
Sure. I need some kind of multiplayer.
You need a
Not
lot
multiplayer,
of
multiplier. Multiplier.
Yeah.
But
that's just a lot. That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah. I know he's an achievement hound. That's what he likes to do. That's his hobby. So it's awesome that he got there and the most ever. He has his name in the Guinness book, but man, that's a lot of time. So, ooh.
I just bet he doesn't have other people competing for his time.
Yeah, I don't think he's married or has kids or anything like that.
He's got a girlfriend because he mentioned her that she was there when he did this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's taken him. I think he said 8 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it took a long time to get there, but he's played a lot of games and completed. I mean, his completion percentage has got to be insane.
So if you 1K a game, that would literally be how many games then?
Well, it's
what, you just drop 3 zeros?
Was it 1,000? You'd have to 1K 1,000 games to get a million.
Maybe, yeah.
So
you figure some have what, 1250?
Some have more
whatever.
than that, yeah. Some
1,000 games, man.
But you got all the mobile games, you got the arcade games.
Oh, yeah.
There's just I don't know how many he has on his profile.
Oh, you guys can look him up, can't you, on your Xbox One?
Yeah, you can. So.
Oh, I can. It's right.
Oh, yeah. You can look him up on Xbox.com. So.
That's where I'm going.
But so, anyways, I just wanted to say, congratulations. I thought that was kind of neat. It is something that was kind of big in the world of Xbox this week that happened. So, pretty cool. He is a Guinness World Record holder, so congrats.
Yeah. And no price update on that on the game. They haven't been released yet. But I thought it was going for 15. I could be wrong.
All right.
Okay. All right. There's a game title that's going to be coming out in the near future. It is for the game Bound by Flame. This is an RPG that will be out on May 9th for, it seems like every system except the Xbox One. It's going to be out on the 360, PC, PS3, and PS4 on May 9th. It's a fantasy RPG. Very similar to Dark Souls, maybe not as dark, a little slightly more colorful than Dark Souls. And yeah, look for it in a couple months.
All right. Some sad news. Before the sad news, Stallion83 has 1,580 games on his profile.
Wow.
79% complete rate.
That's... My goodness.
Yeah, compared to my... Yeah, that's compared to my 201 games at 27% completion.
Yeah.
So,
I bet my completion rate's like 10%.
yeah.
Where did you look that up, on your profile?
I just looked up his profile and did comparison on the games.
Oh, okay.
You can do a compare between you and him. So, sad news. PopCap, who was once a company of their own and then was purchased by EA, is getting hit with some layoffs after a recent studio split. So, for those who don't know who PopCap is, that is Plants vs. Zombies and Peggle are two of their well-known games. They also have a few others, but those seem to be like the two big boys of their group. The reorganization of the studio in late February, which saw the developers split into two teams, one geared toward mobile games and the other one toward console releases. PopCap CEO David Roberts also stepped down and was replaced by co-founder John. I'm going to say Vici. Becey. The changes were made at PopCap were painful, and we're sorry to lose some of our friends and colleagues. EA wrote in an email to Joystick, but it was necessary in order to stay on course with our future plans for mobile games, live services, and new IP. PopCap is the studio that made its name building great games that the world can fall in love with, and that's what we'll continue to do. The latest game was Garden Warfare, which was really cool. Because I was watching Wing play Garden Warfare with a couple others. I was watching it on my iPad with the new Twitch, the updated Twitch app, which is leaps and bounds better than what the old one was. I can tell you that.
Yeah, same on the Xbox One. It's much better.
You know, I think at this point you can say that it was well worth the wait on streaming on the Xbox One. Because the streaming is far better than any console. Like the quality just blows away the PS4. And this isn't coming from me because I was just watching you. This is actually coming from one of my buddies at work who has both systems. He says like it'll be all all fuzzy and everything through the PS4, but the Xbox One seems to stream so much better. So. But yeah, Garden Warfare, I was watching you play that. It was actually fun to watch. I think you got cheated out in your round, by the way.
Thank you. I was waiting for someone to respond. I thought we did. So
yeah, I was watching. I was like, what in the world just happened? But yeah, you got ripped off on that one. But so the bad news was PopCap lost some people, and pretty sad. They're not the only group to either shut down or have layoffs recently, so I think it's probably just coming around due to the fiscal year and stuff, right, coming to an end. So
it seems like everybody's different.
Yeah, I think it typically happens when they ramp down on a project. Is people get let go and then they ramp up on a new project and hire people. It's kind of weird how it works out.
So I gotta ask, I don't know if you see the image on the Twitch feed, but do you think that was kind of foreshadowing those zombies, or do you think they're reading the Help Wanted page?
I cannot see the image, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a zombie that walks around in the game looking at a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
Nice.
Yeah. The zombies are coming.
All right.
That's right. Walking Dead's coming in a couple. Actually, no, it came and went.
It already recorded.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, all right. Moving on. Back to headsets. And the headset adapter. So, in fact, this is a good image. As you can see in this picture, the mute button's in the middle, the master volume's on the right, there's up and down, and then if you hit the bottom one, it shows a little people, and it has a plus sign on it. That makes your chat volume louder. If you hit the button on the top left, it's a controller. It has a plus sign. That makes your game volume louder. So that's, but anyways, Microsoft has addressed user concerns over distorted Xbox One voice chat stemming from its recently issued stereo headset adapter, noting that it's working on a resolution for reported issues. Users have reported distorted audio when using this new headset adapter with legacy, Astro, Turtle Beach, and Polk headsets. According to Game Informer, audio distortion appears to be isolated to in-game and party voice chat. Skype and Upload Studio audio is apparently unaffected. We've heard about a small number of users experiencing intermittent issues. Microsoft rep told Game Informer, we're actively investigating and working on a resolution. So if you are one of those people that has a legacy Astro, Turtle Beach, or Polk headset and are having that issues with the new adapter, they are looking into a fix. So that's the story.
Okay, NPD released some numbers for February 2014. Had to think about the year for a second there. So they released some numbers, and let's see what they said. So the PS4 outsold the Xbox One in the US in February. The Xbox One sold only 90% of what the PS4 sold. However, with the cost of the Xbox One being, what, about 20% more, the Microsoft console led in terms of dollar amount. Then, let's see, Xbox One sold 258,000 units in February, which is pretty good. And then the Xbox 360 sold 114,000 units. And this is the 100th month that the 360's been on sale. That's kind of interesting. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Divide that by 12 and you figure out the years. Anyway, the attach rate for the games on the Xbox One is at 2.75. I think this is increased slightly, hasn't it? Wasn't it less before? Because I think we talked about this a couple shows back. Anyway, basically that says that it averages out the amount of games that people buy for the console. So it says that people buy almost 3 games per console on average. I know a lot of our listeners are buying definitely a lot more than 2.75. Actually, I think everybody has pretty much. Anyway, the top games for February are the following. Number 1, Call of Duty Ghosts, which is available on pretty much every single platform out there. Number 2, this one kind of surprised me, the Lego Movie video game was number 2. And from the demo that I played, it actually seems interesting. It seems fun. Number 3, NBA 2K14. Number 4, Thief. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. This game is still sticking up there in the ranks. Followed by Battlefield 4. Assassin's Creed 4 after that. Number 8 is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 for the 360. Number 9, Minecraft on the 360. And number 10 is a 3DS title, Bravely Default. So that's some of the interesting numbers there for February.
Yep.
See how it goes.
not to sidetrack because I know we're short on time. I just saw an article when I was getting ready for the podcast tonight that the Wii U is outselling the PS4 in Japan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that too? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were looking at because as far as I know, the PS4 just blew up when it got released that first day.
I know. I didn't understand that, but
me either. But all right. I don't know if anybody in the chat here or that's watching is a fan of The Witcher or The Witcher 2. I know we have some people in our community that was fans of the game, but I can't remember exactly who it was. The Witcher 3 was supposed to come out, and I know people were excited about that, but why am I the one with all the bad news now that I realize? It's my second show. Already hate because I like, I'm playing PC games, now I get all the bad news.
It's a BJ Downer.
Yeah, I was going to say. But developer for Witcher 3, which is CD Projekt Red, announced that the release of the game, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, has been delayed till next year. They are going to they're initially going to release later this year, or at the end of this year, but they decided to take a few more months for polish and for testing. So they want to use that time to make them, to satisfy them on the game. So it was going to be released at the end of the year. Now they pushed it to February 2015. So I think it's about a 3-month difference on what they wanted to do. To me, I think I applaud them for saying, hey, let's not rush it. Let's make it the best game we can make it. Take that extra 3 months. It's not like they've delayed it for an entire year. I think the heading, a little misleading. It's delayed as if it was going to come out like tomorrow or something, and now we have to wait a year. It's delayed a couple months. So, but that's all for that one. So The Witcher 3 has been delayed.
all right. Well, Microsoft is planning to be direct and honest with fans. So Microsoft Game Studio Vice President Phil Spencer said that Microsoft could have done a better job handling information regarding the Xbox One last summer following the reveal. Well, duh. The Xbox One announcement last May was surrounded by confusion regarding the console's always online requirements and used game policy. Microsoft later reversed the daily online check-in and used game restriction policies in June in response to consumer criticism. And of course, along with that, we lost all the cool features that we were supposed to get. But anyways, at a presentation at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas the other day, Spencer said Microsoft didn't effectively convey its message to consumers. Quote, I look at last summer, and that wasn't a high point for me, coming out of the announcement of Xbox One and E3, where I thought our messaging around what we believed in was confused, mainly by us. End quote. Spencer said during the presentation with Spike TV's Jeff Keighley, he also said, I learned a ton last summer as a leader of our groups and in our company about being true to your core vision around what a product is, not being confusing, and frankly, when you're going to say something to a consumer that might put them off, it's better just to be direct and honest rather than trying to sugarcoat something that might be controversial. Before the end of 2013, Microsoft sold 3 million Xbox Ones following the console's November launch. During that time, Spencer and other Microsoft executives and employees have attempted to be more active on social media, responding to customer questions and concerns in an effort to better connect with fans. I'd rather deal with controversy of what we're doing and have an above-table conversation with that topic rather than trying to sugarcoat it with some other news. One of the reasons I wanted to be a little more actively social was because I know the core of why we were in this industry was not an evil reason. It wasn't to really delight. It was to really delight customers and build a great product that millions and millions of people would love. So, I think that's. I don't think they were ever trying to keep anything secret. I think they were, I took it as they were trying to move forward. We talked about next gen. To me, I was disappointed when they took all those neat features away, but it is what it is, and at least the company listened. Yeah. So, but I'd rather have this more direct format.
I was going to say that what we've got now is actually worse than what they had planned. But
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. It sucks. The 360.
I would say that I'd have an Xbox One right now if they would have stuck with what they originally said.
And the people that complained probably didn't even buy an Xbox One anyway.
There's a couple things. I think the whole more direct thing. It's not that they came out and they said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do," but then the press and everybody jumped all over them, and 6 different people were saying 6 different things.
Yeah,
That was the problem. So then, all these sites were posting all this news, and it's like, oh, you can't play any game if you're not online. You have to be online, and it's just like, holy cow! It's like, oh, all the security they're putting in is making sure that you can't play your games, or none of your friends can play a game because you can't borrow it, and it's got to be installed. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it was driving me crazy. But then they come out and they're like, okay, we're ripping it all out, which was the worst thing they could have done. That was not a solution to the problem. So everybody was so concerned about this 24-hour check always online. And instead of saying, okay, 24-hour check online, or you got to put your disc in, they said, we're just going to rip out everything. So, I mean, I would love to be able just to install my game and be able to flip through my games, because that quick switching is one of those things that I absolutely wanted to see. But me, I'm just going to go digital only, so, and hopefully stay that way. But yeah, we'll see. More direct.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Okay. All right, I'm up. Okay, Xbox One had a Skype update that came through a couple days ago. The update is available on. Actually, it's available now, of course. What it did is it upgraded the application. There was a whole bunch of bug fixes. It added a new filtering feature where you'll be able to see the people that are online, I guess, first, giving priority to the people that are online. Also, the logging feature logs the last 1,000 messages that are received, whereas previously it only showed you the last 7 days. There's also, this is kind of a stupid thing, I think, but there's a new set of Captain America, the Winter Soldier themed emoticons. Yay. Look, if you haven't updated it, go ahead, because this is a manual update, isn't it? Or does it happen automatically? Do you guys know?
Should happen automatically, but I don't know. I don't use Skype.
Yeah, me neither. Not there. Well, we use it all the time. Just
not
yeah.
On the Xbox One. Sorry,
we're using it now.
I don't use Skype.
What's Skype?
Yeah, once I get an Xbox One, maybe that's how I'll just do the shows while I'm playing my Xbox, and then you can still stick me in here. So.
Nah, I can't do that. Unless did they fix that? Did you say that was part of the fix? That you can snap Skype while you're playing?
I do not know that is part of this update.
Because it's not what they showed before was not. You couldn't do it.
Yeah. So, maybe next time.
Maybe. All right. Is that it, Rob?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna skip Braun because I think that was a dupe from last week. So this is a real quick, interesting story. It's not often when you hear about console price change, you usually hear about a price drop. Well, if you're in Canada, you're going to see a $50 price increase on the PlayStation 4 to include accessories and games. Also going up by $5. I was like, huh? So, this is this. Let's see. The Toronto Sun has reported that this has already started. That the PlayStation 4 will cost $50 more in Canada, up from its previous price of $399.99. So it's going to be $449.99. Also, the PlayStation Camera and DualShock 4 also rising in price. 2 game exclusives to the system are getting bumped up to $64.99, or from $64.99 to $69.99. And the reason I bring this up is because first of all, I was shocked that a price increase on a new console. I don't think we've ever seen that. But Sony said the price changes are being made to respond to changes in the market environment.
Oh, people have too much money? Is that it?
I don't know what that means.
The Canadian dollar has dropped in value.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I thought the U.S. was worse than Canada's dollar.
Well, the article does say that the Canadian dollar is currently weak against the U.S. dollar, but Sony did not specifically cite that as an influencing factor. It's just like everything for PlayStation is jumping up. So is Sony making the money? I mean, I guess are they saying they're losing money because the Canadian dollar's not worth as much, so they're gonna charge Canadians even more? I mean, to me, it's like, wow, I was shocked to see that. So according to, we haven't heard anything from Microsoft. I thought that I read something here that Microsoft has no plans. Oh yeah, Microsoft told The Sun that there were no current plans for a price hike in the land of up in Canada. So Microsoft's not planning to do a price hike, but Sony did already. And
that's because they did $100 price hike at the beginning.
Well, yeah, but we're all paying that.
Well, so, I know.
They're not planning to make it any higher, but I just found that interesting. So.
See, you would think that they would just try to make it up in other markets, but I guess for them, Canada, it meets some kind of need. Or I wonder if it has anything to do with Sony hurting as a company as well. They can't take such a hit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what they're doing.
Okay. So. Moving on. We're done, right?
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Back to Titanfall, because we haven't talked about Titanfall in, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so. So, because we usually do multiple stories. One of
this will be the last one.
Yes. Maybe the last one this show. I don't know.
Nope.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so Abby Heppy spoke to IGN in regards to a whole bunch of things related to Titanfall, of all things. They asked her whether future DLC may offer... actually, I'm just going to read this thing. I'm sure a lot of people are interested in this kind of stuff. When asked whether future DLC may offer the team a chance to add some of the varied flora and fauna seen in the art book to Titanfall, she acknowledged, "We are going to have maps added, and we're trying to give players as much of a varied look at things as we can. That is definitely a possibility." And then there was a bunch of talk before about monsters being in there, whether it was DLC or whatever. While monsters may make it into the game before too long, it seems that the same can't be said for new Titan models. She explained that it's like the Atlas, Ogre, and Strider. They'll remain the only options for the foreseeable future. And in fact, there was a time when it appeared there'd only be one to pick from. Interesting. So they went from 1 to 3. That's a real big question, she explained. In order to add a Titan, it takes so much balancing to make all the Titan abilities worked with each other and then against pilots. It's a huge undertaking. Originally, we had just Atlas Titans, and then the team refused to add the rest of the Titans until we were all sure that one fitted perfectly with everything else in the game. I'm not announcing any new Titans right now. So I guess that still leaves it a little open-ended, at least for the foreseeable future. We don't have anything, but there's always a possibility. Then, though Titanfall has picked up strong reviews across the board, one of the few reservations commenters have expressed is whether the studio's attempts to marry narrative into multiplayer have been entirely successful. She acknowledged this, but remains confident things will only get better. She said, we're always looking towards iterating and what's next and what we can learn. So we would do everything. So would we do everything exactly the same way? I don't think any game developer would tell you yes. I think we're always looking at going bigger and better. So we'll see what happens in the future. I'm really, really happy with what the team has done, though, as a start and exploring what narrative elements we can bring into multiplayer, being one of the first companies that's done it the way that we did it. I'm happy about that. It's one of my favorite ways to play the game. She concluded by saying that the future of Respawn is to maintain the smooth launch trajectory experienced so far as the game rolls out across all the territories. After that, it's all about free updates planned to add private matches and a range of other features, and then on to DLC. After Titanfall, as our game draws to a close, that's it. Never mind for that last part. So that's some interesting news about the game. So it looks like we're going to be getting some free stuff, definitely. There is DLC coming out. New Titans, probably not in the near future, but you never know. And that is all.
All right.
Now we got one more Titanfall thing.
Yeah, well, Wing, do you want to put into this, or do you want me to go over it first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and introduce this. What Brun will start us off reading it. This was an article that I think someone posted in our community, and it's a blog post by a guy named Brent, and the title is "A PlayStation Fanboy's First 10 Hours with Titanfall." Now, we're going to read this. We're going to alternate paragraphs. Whoops. I should probably use that. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and play some. This was you're gonna watch video of a campaign that I had played with some community guys on board here. So that'll play in the background when we talk about the story. But this I thought was a very interesting article. It comes from a perspective of a PlayStation fanboy who tried Titanfall and what their thoughts were. So we're just gonna run through that and share the story with you. And I'll post the article as soon as I get the fix that issue in Twitch. Allow our mods to post URLs. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
I also added it to our Facebook where you're going live in 3, 2, 1. I put it on there for anybody who wants to follow along. But this is from shortpause.com, and the author of the article, excuse me, hiccups now, is, like you said, Brent. But here we go. Since the launch of the PlayStation back in 1995, I can see how it would be easy to label me as a PlayStation fanboy. I've supported the brand every year since then, and I've played just about every Sony exclusive in existence. I'm actually going to admit, sorry, Sony brethren, that at one point I owned an Xbox 360 for a short while, but traded it in 2 weeks later as Halo and Gears of War did nothing for me. I felt guilty tainting my gaming room with something other than PlayStation products. If ever there were a game that would help me open my eyes, not only as a fanboy but also as a gamer, it was Titanfall. Want me to keep going?
Oh, sorry. No, that's back
Nope.
to me, right?
Sure.
All right. I'm sorry. I was messing with the. You should be able to put a URL in the Twitch feed. So, but you might have to come out and come back into the Twitch. Maybe then it'll work.
We're good.
Okay. I remember. Okay, so you just read the first paragraph, right?
Yep.
I remember when watching Titanfall was unveiled. I was instantly turned off by the premise. Even though Respawn Entertainment is primarily comprised of developers that had a hand in creating Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, in my opinion the best Call of Duty experience ever, it appeared that the game was more influenced by Halo, yawn, than anything else. That alone was enough to deter my interest in the game. The final nail in the coffin for me was when they announced it would be a multiplayer-only game. I mean, come on. If you couple that nugget of info with EA's reputation for neglecting pre-order numbers and having just enough servers to keep Battlefield 4 struggling to stay alive, the game was surely doomed, right?
Jump ahead to November 2013. The PS4 had finally dropped, and gamers everywhere were happy they got the cheaper yet more powerful of the two consoles. Having picked mine up at midnight, number one in line, no, I didn't camp. I'm at the age where I have to at all hours of the night. I was ready to jump into next gen gaming. At the same time, I was working with Taz, which is a moderator, I guess, of the site, on setting this site up. And it occurred to me that it would behoove us to broaden our scope and cover more than just PlayStation hardware and software. Having thought it over long and hard, despite my disdain for everything Microsoft, I decided to venture out to my local Myers store. Lo and behold, they still had a few Xbox Ones for sale. The morning of November 22nd. This next tidbit is for comedic effect only, but a few days later, I bought a Wii U as well to complete the trifecta. And like the other 83 owners out there, I've turned it on maybe twice since both the PS4 and Xbox One have arrived. Hey, I do it for the site and for you guys.
All right. I will admit that I'm a major fan of first-person shooters, more so than any other game genre. Even though action games, Uncharted, Metal Gear Solid, and RPGs like Skyrim and Fallout 3 helped raise my interest in story-driven games last gen, I always found my way back to Call of Duty or Battlefield to play with my friends. Having family and friends living in other cities, online multiplayer is a great way to hang out and keep in touch with them. Unfortunately, with this last round of heavyweight first-person shooters, Call of Duty, Ghosts, Battlefield 4, feeling extremely boring and trite, I began wondering if maybe the genre has passed me by, or maybe I was losing interest in the gaming altogether. It was so bad that even when those respective games arrived on next-gen consoles along with Killzone and Shadowfall, they did very little to reinvigorate my love of the genre. I quickly realized that my love for gaming was still strong, as I had a blast playing the likes of Rise, Son of Rome, better than Dead Rising 3, sorry to break it to you, Assassin's Creed 4, yeah, AC4, Outlast, and Resogun. It was gaming that it wasn't gaming that was the problem. It was the less than fresh feeling I get due to my beloved genre becoming stale.
At a crossroads of sort, I gave in to my inner hate for everything Xbox and reluctantly submitted my entry for a Titanfall beta code. What was I thinking? Was I really going to look to a Microsoft exclusive to help jumpstart my feelings towards a genre that I grew to love on PlayStation consoles? I'll be honest with you, I went into this beta expecting to hate it, and I planned to let each and every one of you on Twitter know just how generic of an experience it really was. When the invites started rolling in, I kept checking, but no such luck. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't relieved. The truth of the matter is, I was worried that Titanfall would make me feel foolish for being so one-sided all those years when I simply laughed at the notion of picking up an Xbox or an Xbox 360. However, as fate would have it, Taz sent me a text saying he had received a beta code, and with that, I was all out of excuses. This was happening, and there was nothing I could do about it.
My initial impressions of the beta were good. However, I still think the PlayStation enthusiast in me didn't want to admit that it would be a game that would make me a believer, that would make a believer out of yours truly. It was fun, but adjusting to the added abilities, double jumping, wall running, and Titans, that weren't common in those other games mentioned above, and the lack of a proper single-player campaign left me wondering if this game would really be the revelation it was hyped up to be. Well, my friends, I've played through the game for a good 8 hours or so since the launch Tuesday. Could have been more if Xbox Live had not melted down for a few hours. And I have to admit, again, I'm sorry, my Sony comrades, that this game, this Titanfall, has left me feeling some type of way.
I played 7 rounds prior to the great Xbox Live outage of 2014. Xbox Twitter fanatics needs to chill the F out, by the way. Try being offline for a whole month. Good point. And then come talk to me about downtime, cough, PSN hack, cough. And was able to get familiarized with the controls, while at the same time starting to get a feel for the 13 other maps that shipped with the game. Once the servers were back up, I played for 5 straight hours into the night. One thing that stood out right away is that even though the gameplay I saw prior to the beta appeared to be more like Halo, it really felt like most people were approaching it with a Call of Duty mentality. In most games, you'll find pilots, human-controlled characters, on top of most structures camping. Some things never change, as their bots below are engaging other enemy pilots in the area. This would in turn reveal their location for an easy kill. Once I began using my pilot's abilities, cloaking is my favorite, moving quickly from cover to cover while flanking these campers, and use double jumps and wall running to reach their locations, it became rather easy to make life miserable for my enemies.
What makes this game so fun to play is how smoothly everything runs despite everything that's happening on screen. Sure, I came across a few isolated instances where the frame rate dipped a little, but I have yet to see it drop down to single digits like some other outlets have reported. It may not be the best looking next-gen game available, but in all honesty, it doesn't have to be. When you have multiple Titans exchanging punches with one another, think Transformers, while pilots engage in heated gun battles below while attempting to avoid being crushed by said Titans, all you need is a steady frame rate and a kick-butt sound system to push the adrenaline level to 10. It didn't matter if we won, lost, or got our butts handed to us. The game was an absolute blast to play. Weapons don't appear to be overpowered, and there seems to be a counter to just about every type of attack, creating that necessary balance in gameplay.
I think the reason I enjoy the Twitch shooting style present in Titanfall is because it's not a game based on real-life military personnel and equipment. It's a futuristic sci-fi action shooter where you don't have the grounds to criticize it for not being realistic. When I play a military shooter based on modern times, I want realism. I don't want health regeneration. I don't want respawn. I want consequences for being reckless and for not communicating with my team. With Titanfall, you can suspend disbelief. You can be reckless and respawn, and it feels just right. It's also imperative that you communicate with your team to call out the location of Titans and enemy pilots who are farming bots to call in their own Titans at a quicker rate. Teamwork is essential, and being a great teammate makes Titanfall all that much more rewarding.
It's hard for me to admit this, but I feel rather foolish for denouncing the Xbox brand all these years. I was especially hard on them during the time leading up to E3, mainly because I already disliked them. Their anti-gamer plans infuriated me. However, the FPS whore inside of me needed something new, fun, exciting, and fresh. I'm glad I lowered my PlayStation banner enough to give the Xbox One a chance, because this is the most fun I've had with a first-person shooter in a really long time. I'm not going to give my final verdict on the game just yet, though, as I still have some leveling up to do. I'm currently at a level 32.
There is a campaign of sorts that you play throughout multiplayer, but I really believe it only exists so you can unlock the other 2 chassis for your Titan loadouts. If Titanfall is able to keep things fresh by means of DLC, I really believe this will be my multiplayer game of choice for quite some time. Touché, Microsoft. I'm now a proud owner of an Xbox One and look forward to what lies ahead regarding your exclusives.
In closing, I have one last thing to say to all PlayStation fanboys out there. Please don't be foolish and judge a game based on watching videos of it on Twitch. You and I both know that it's not the same as actually playing the game and experiencing it for yourself. If you don't like first-person shooters, that's one thing. But to blast a game because it only runs at 792p just makes you look foolish and jealous. You can attack the system for not being able to handle 1080p, but not the game itself. The resolution has absolutely nothing to do with how fun a game plays. Just pray that any sequels are multi-platform.
To all the Xbox fanboys out there, you have every right to be proud and be a proud Titanfall owner, regardless of what others, especially those that haven't played the game, say about it. There's no denying that this game is fun, frantic, and just what the genre, and let's be honest, the Xbox One needed. Just like you guys and gals are bummed about missing out on Uncharted, don't lie, you know you are. PlayStation fans are bummed they're missing out on the action-packed Titanfall. Pray Microsoft continues shelling out money for this franchise to remain PC and Xbox only. To those of you that bought... Oh, sorry. Do you want to go? I can finish it out if you want.
To those of you that brought both consoles and gamers who just enjoy gaming in general, you're doing it right. You don't waste your time with silly Twitter trash talk and resolution gate. You're above the nonsense and enjoy gaming more than anything else. Enjoy all the games on all the systems with all your friends. You can just sit back and watch the others tear each other apart. And that's the end of his article. And you know, it was a little long. We hope it was a little humorous to you. But the final point, what I really liked about this was that someone who hated Microsoft and just because, you know, Titanfall opened up their eyes, and I thought this was a very well-written article. And I know we talked about it. We try not to bash the PlayStation. Sometimes we might get a little, you know, do it a little bit. But you know, I've got a PlayStation 3. I know Rob and Brun have had them in the past too. You know, we're multiple consoles. We're gamers. You know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't matter if someone picks another console. Just enjoy the games for what they are. And I want to echo, Uncharted was a fantastic series. That's why I bought my PlayStation 3. I would love to play Uncharted 4. I wish that series would go multi-platform. It's fantastic. So don't be a hater. Be a lover of the games, and that's what it's about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that article.
All right.
Well, we have a few minutes left to crank out the rest of this, right?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Just a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it fast.
So we're going to jump into our community topics now. So you can follow us at thisxboxlife.com. Join us on our Facebook group. Just search for This Xbox Life. We do have a Twitter account, which we use to announce our new shows and when we're broadcasting. If you want to leave us a voicemail, then go to thisxboxlife.com. Click on the send us a voicemail message on the right hand side of our website, and using your computer you can just leave us a voicemail and we'll put it into the show and play it back during this section. If you wish to join in or attempt to win the $10 gift card for next week, then now is your chance, because the box that you see on the screen right now, that'll be you need to put that into the contest page. So go to Xbox Live or thisxboxlife.com, hit the contest tab, enter your gamer tag and the name of the game you're seeing now on screen, and next week we will pick a random winner for $10 Xbox Live gift card that we will send to you over Xbox Live next Sunday night. All right, so
for the retail releases this week, we've got a couple of things on the X360. We've got Yaiba, Ninja Gaiden Z, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes. Now, this is not the full game, right? This is that like teaser, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I think it's only like $20, I think.
Yeah, it's real cheap,
$30.
and it's
30. The very expensive 2-hour campaign.
Yeah. It's basically a demo that you're paying for.
Yeah.
So Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is up. And again, remember, this is not the full game. And then also Terraria, which is kind of like a side-scrolling Minecraft-ish kind of game, sort of type of thing. Xbox One has only one title. It's Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. So that's it for the retail releases this week. And then also, we mention this every once in a while here in the show. If you're going to be purchasing anything for your console, anything in general, Amazon, please use our affiliate link. It's www.thisxboxlife.com/. Amazon, or you can go to our main page, homepage for this Xbox Life, and then you'll find the link on the right-hand side in the little Amazon box. Get a tiny itty-bitty fraction of your purchase, and we use it to do cool stuff like tests and so forth. The $10 giveaway that we're doing right now is directly from that. And your doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just we get a tiny bit of it, and we're giving it back to the community. Yep.
All right. Cool. Also, remember, if you guys listen to us on iTunes, please rate us 5 stars to help to get the word out about the show. But do you guys got any last items of business?
Yeah, I think, Wing, you might have to go play Titanfall with some people in the community. They're trying to rally everybody together.
I would, but I'm going to get dinner, man. I am starving right now. It's 9 o'clock and I haven't had dinner. I'm starving.
You can always do it.
Then I gotta watch Walking Dead, and then I can go play Titanfall.
There you go.
Trust me, play Titanfall, save Walking Dead for later.
No.
You'll thank me.
No, absolutely not.
We'll see. I'll let you know if I should have taken your advice.
All right.
All right. Well, with that, then, I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Prestar. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch y'all next week.
And Brun BJ's Victory 3. Have a good one.